Who wants to have a bunch of enthusiasm to be able to take your business to the next level? Raise your hand. All right, so there's a secret formula. Secret formula. And by the way, I'm here going to plug my book right now. Right now.
And it's good.
Who has my book right now? Raise your hand. Who does not have my book? That's the rest of you. So drop and do some push-ups right now. They've got them, by the way, in the core. And if you don't have one yet, I highly recommend it, not only just to push the book, but this is 30 years of experience, 30 years of the things, the 11 laws that will change your life. And those 11 laws are there to help you get in the groove, get into that lifestyle, be able to become the person you've always wanted to be able to become the coach you've always wanted to be able to have the influence on the people in your life that you love and care about. And so that whole process is just a blast. And so, I'm going to break down some of the things that I think are super important to be able to get there. And there are 4 in particular that have sort of come into my noggin in regards to my conversation with all of you today. And obviously, some of them are obvious, right? But there's maybe a couple that aren't. And fitness is certainly one of them. So you will discover that if you exercise on a regular basis about 22 days a month, you can write that down. 22 days a month are going to be able to give you the norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, brain-derived neurotropic factor. These are the things that are sitting inside your brain. That when you move, you get to have those things. When you don't get them. So every time you exercise, half hour, you can do P90X3, for example. I'm just saying. So the idea here is to pump a bunch of oxygen into your brain and into your temporal lobe and into that little thing called the dentate gyrus inside of your brain. And when you do that, you change your attitude, you change your ability to think, you change your cognition, your memory, you change your ability to sleep better. Anybody know what the circadian cycle is? Circadian cycle. So it's those every 90 minutes, you go from deep sleep to REM. It goes back and forth over the course of the evening. And so the 4 things that need to plug in so that you can have the energy and enthusiasm, be able to continue to feel good, look good, have energy, have the enthusiasm to do what you need to do. Obviously, fitness has got to happen 5 to 7 days a week. 5 to 7 days a week. Yes. So I work out a minimum of 5. I schedule 7. Because if I schedule 7, chances are I'll show up for at least 5. If I schedule 5, I'll probably show up for 3. And the other 4 days, all I'm doing is getting older and more miserable. So I don't want that. Do you want that? No. Fitness is just like everything else in your life. See, everything else in your life you do to survive. You go to work, you pay your bills, you take care of your family, you feed your face, you brush your teeth, you floss at least once every 6 months, whatever. Whatever you need to do to kind of get to the next day. But you are Beachbody coaches. So your job is not to survive, your job is to freaking thrive, right? And so to thrive, to build your business, to kick some booty, you gotta walk the talk. You gotta exercise, you gotta know about the programs, from Body Beast to Yoga Booty Ballet. I don't know. Does anybody have Yoga Booty Ballet? So, you've got to become familiar with the products. Obviously, there are going to be certain ones that you gravitate to. P90X3 and... Weird cough. It was weird. And so, if you look at my programs, and I'm not here to, pump X, X2, and X3, but what I've learned along the way to stay interested. So the idea here is to stay interested, to kind of continue that enthusiasm past day 90, into day 120, into year 4, and that is to always work on your weaknesses. Think outside your comfort zone or play outside of your comfort zone. That's why P90X has 12 workouts and not just 4. That's why there's Pilates and yoga and functional training and also weightlifting and resistance training. Because you want to avoid boredom, injuries, and plateaus, correct? I mean, at 56 years old in a couple of weeks. What the hell happened? But it's just fun to be on the older end of the scale and feel better than I did in my teens, 20s, 30s, and 40s. And anybody and everybody can have that. And you control that. You control what time you work out and what you do. Nobody else deals with that, just you. You set it up and you figure it out. You get a plan, you write it down, and you do it. It's that simple. So how many people here in the room have had the greatest intentions the night before? Going to get up the next morning, you're going to work out really hard, but you didn't really figure out, you didn't really know what time you were going to do it, and it didn't happen. Raise your hand. Keep your hand up if that made you feel awesome. So here's one of the things that I want to talk about on the fitness end of things. This is part of the 4 I want to talk about. So when you exercise with the hope and the dreams that you're going to look different in the future, so you can take an after picture and show to your friends and submit to Beachbody so you can win $1,000. And that's okay, right? But if you're doing it for aesthetic reasons, if you're doing it based on ego, if you're doing it because you want to see the numbers on the scale change and the tape measure change and the dress sizes go down and yada, 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 who has found that process to be somewhat frustrating over the years? Raise your hand. All right. I mean, if you're a supermodel or something, you get paid based on the way you look, then that's, part of your job. But for the rest of us, we want to do something today to make today good, to make today great, to make today awesome. And that's exercising. Because when you exercise today, you change everything. You change your brain. It's not just a physical thing. It's an emotional and mental thing. Every time. Think about the days that you showed up for the workout, you worked hard, and that feeling that you had the nanosecond it was over. Is that not a better feeling than the one before you started?
Absolutely.
So you want to collect those. You want to collect those 5 to 7 days a week for the rest of your life. Because if you only do it periodically, you're going to end up with exercise bipolar disorder. I feel good, I feel like crap. I feel good, I feel like crap. Why not just feel like you're going to fly every day? You work out every day, you fly every day. All I'm asking you to do is to show up, do your best, and
get the rest.
Damn straight.